Business.
All right, everyone, welcome back. All right, so I have not been emotional all day. I really haven't. As some of you guys well know, we are in the final chapter, and like we're just eking closer and closer. So depending on players, of course, and how events turn around, this may be the final game for this whole campaign. Now, regardless of whether it's tonight or it's next week, we will do a follow-up and just like a chat and hangout episode the following week, so we'll still have a +1. But yeah, zero emotion over here. And huge thank you to everyone for understanding. There's been a lot of schedules getting shifted with work and semester opening up, and so that's where we didn't have the games earlier this week. Just thank you for your patience while we figured that out. We may end up moving campaign 2 again to a different day, pending some confirmation on that. Yeah, I guess with that being said, we can roll right into the game. Oh, that's what I was gonna. I was like, there was something I was gonna say. I did rearrange the server again. Nothing too big, but you'll notice that things are a little bit shifted, and the nerd chat room is going to be the main chat room. If you have the gamer tags, you no longer need the gamer tag to access the game room chat, but you won't get pinged if you don't have the gamer role. But yeah, all right. Recap. Who would like? Before we say Ryan.
What was the last thing we did?
Well,
the PM arrived at the end.
I don't even remember. Honest to goodness.
I went off to hematology class.
Oh yeah, the PM is like explaining everything. Pegaveril's strength is waning.
No.
Sword is the key.
Peggy.
We're gonna return to Peggy via the portal stone. That's where we left off.
Stone did some flying around in a library.
Yeah, we did a lot last time.
Yeah. And I mentioned to old man the oh my gosh, his name.
Orenos?
Which dude?
No, the guy that took Bert. That I think took Bert.
Oh, the bad guy.
Starts with an S.
Kazith?
Starts with a C.
Kazith.
Yeah.
Kazith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, casket.
Casket. That's what he's gonna be in when I find his ass.
Stay tuned for campaign 3.
Might as well name him that. Sorn finally breaks. Let's loose. That's the level 20 campaign, the follow-up, when we come back around to see what we're doing afterward.
All right, yes. So the Prime Minister and the Grandmaster were filling you guys in on a lot. Tsunori, your grandfather also came by. The Prime Minister also brought with him, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but between your grandfather and the Prime Minister providing information, you have enough leads to go on for tracking down your son. Then Amberle, your character, actually stepped into an advanced hematurgy.
Perfect.
What's the name for it again?
Hematology?
Hemomancy.
Oh, hematology.
Oh yeah,
Thank
that's the
you.
magic version.
Hemomancy.
Hemomancy.
I was like,
Hematology is the
hematology.
real life version.
Hematology.
Hemomancy.
So you stepped into a level 2 of that class, but given you're already adept with manipulating Aether, you are actually able to pick up on a lot of the concepts. You now have 2 levels in Hemomancy.
Woo!
All right. So yeah, so you guys are on your way walking or about to leave to the portal
Teleporter.
to go back to the world builder. First I need you all to roll your D100s.
No.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Also-
This is the time I'm gonna roll a 1.
Oh, come on.
Also, Tish, you have a point of inspiration you can use this game. As a reminder, you can use it yourself or give it to someone else to re-roll a roll, give advantage on a roll
Okay.
at any point during the session. Even if it's after a roll, you can have them re-roll it with your...
Oh yeah, 5. Who's gonna die today?
And that
Oh
is our
my
new
god,
low.
that might be.
Our previous low was 7.
Oof.
I forgot to open roll 20 before I rolled, but it was 29.
I also got a 29.
Oh, 229s.
Twinsies.
So we got 3. 3 of us are in the 20s. One of us is in the 50s, and the last one is single digit.
Wait, what was yours, Yunhao? What's yours?
Yeah. Drop.
I don't see
Yeah, mine was
Yunhao's.
29. He said he forgot to open roll 20 first.
Oh, okay.
Before
But what
I
was
rolled.
it? What was it?
29 as well.
29. Oh. Okay. That explains.
I mean, it was
I knew
100.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 129.
Oh
that. All
wait,
right.
On the. That's
I
insane.
rolled the wrong die, guys. Can I re-roll?
What did you roll?
A D20.
You rolled a 1d20, that's no wonder.
Oh my god!
I'm
No, you
so
didn't.
bad. I'm sorry,
Here
guys.
comes the
I've
1.
been really preoccupied. Hey, that's better. Woo!
Yeah.
You
Marshall,
could roll that on the d20.
You're right, we could have.
Okay, well, 5, 17, whatever. Give me whatever you feel like it. I don't care.
I feel like you
Still the
should
lowest
care.
score. Wow.
I don't know what
It's
it
like
does,
the
but you
lowest
should
is best.
care.
Yes.
It's hard to care when
you
you have
should
no
care.
idea what it is for.
No, that's
Yep.
the best part about it.
And you have no
I
control
feel like
over
it's
it.
more concerning because I don't know what it does.
I'm asking as soon as everything's over.
I have no idea
She's
what
not
it's
going to
for.
tell you because she's making us do the same thing for campaign 2. So she can't tell you.
She can tell me.
She's never going to
I'm
know.
not in campaign 2.
I'm pulling out of campaign 2.
Oh,
I'm pulling out of
Well, no,
whatever
I
the
mean,
next one
it's-
is that you were going to pull
even
me
if-
into.
Even if we knew what it was, it still wouldn't matter because we just roll and it's chance. So it's not like you could do
Or
anything
3?
about it.
Campaign 3?
the results do not matter.
Question mark?
I withdraw my application for campaign 3.
Forbidden. All
Now you
right.
have to.
So
Bam.
yeah, you guys are walking back to the portal. The for you guys, not back to the portal. But you guys are met by also Hemor, who had seen you guys previously when you guys were with the World Builder. And Hemor takes the stone that takes you back to the World Builder, and he starts putting it into the portal and getting the portal set up. While he's setting up this custom portal, is there anything you guys wanted to ask? Either the Grandmaster of the Mages Citadel, the one of the Mages Council members, or the Prime Minister of the Dark Realm?
I want to talk to the Grandmaster.
All right. What do you want?
He's present. He's present, right?
He is.
I'll kind of float over to him nonchalantly while he's
whatever.
getting set up.
Okay.
You seem really knowledgeable about Aether and everything. No, wait, have I already asked him this? Have I asked him like if he knows anything about like the origins of Nonils?
He does. You did not ask that previously.
Because I remember
but...
the purifiers went over.
Yeah, the purifiers specifically, he did, and he does bring them up again. But his major, so to speak, is with the World Builders and Nonils, and just governance species in general. And he, of course, he does a lot of rambling and telling stories and stuff like that. And so, he talks about the time before the realms were split. And, when the realms got split, that's where he had to make the purifiers because it was, they needed to adapt to different atmosphere requirements and stuff like that. But, he was great friends with the World Builders back then, and he still is now, and that's where, this whole situation has been consuming him, because it's not just the realms are at stake, it's also his friends. Friends that he's spent decades with. But he says for Nonils, the origins have always been steeped heavily in magic. And he's like, souls are powerful things, but they're not always as strong as, sometimes they're a lot weaker, and that's okay if they're weaker because they're able to bind with nearby elements. And that's what makes souls as strong as they are, is that they're capable of binding to nearby elements. Whether or not that's a body, is up for debate, but be it rock or water, whatever the case is, that you're able to adapt to that element and create your entire being in that element. But he's like, that's also where we're able to find ways to create Nonils. Because we're essentially able to kickstart that process. All we need is a soul to start with. As long as you have a soul to work with, you're able to bind it to something. And
so I could have been a person before I was an animal, or I could have been an animal, or
he's like,
anything with a soul.
He's like, of that I have no doubt. And he's like, and it's mostly people. Animals tend to stay animals, just being more primal in nature, where, unless they're, of course, very strongly sentient and can decide if they want to change over species, but, that's about resurrection, and he starts like, brushing stuff off, but he's like, I have no doubt you were once someone very special. He's like, otherwise, and he kind of leans in, and he's like, otherwise your matron wouldn't have taken interest in you. He's like, you don't think I recognize her handiwork?
I mean, she doesn't talk much to me, so
And he's like, she's
I've
so
been
busy
kind of left in the
going
dark.
around.
No pun intended.
This gets quite a warm chuckle out of him. You know, the warm grandfatherly chuckle you would expect to hear from someone of his stature. And he's like, yes. And he's like, well, last I heard from her, she's been thoroughly enjoying roaming around the galaxy and not dealing with any of us.
So, so I'm here to do the stuff she doesn't want to do. Got it.
Also, probably can't do. And he's like, if we were capable of helping this in a way that just required a little bit of magic and a little bit of, wibbly wobbly stuff, we would have been able to do it by now. Sorry, I had to. My brain wobbled, and I'm like, we're rolling with it.
And I'll kind of like dip my head and thank him, and I'll float back to the group.
I guess I'll walk up to my grandfather and say, "Well, it's now or never, isn't it?"
He's gonna be like, indeed. I guess we will find out if there's a potential in the future here.
Well, and I'll reach out my hand to shake his hand. It's been good.
And
See
he
you on
just
the other
grabs your
side.
hand and just pulls you into an embrace.
Mm-hmm. I reciprocated.
And he's like, understand how proud you make me. Out of all of the children and grandchildren we have had, you are by far the light in my life. And probably the only competent one.
Oh, the favorite.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not
Moshi's
even related
like-
to y'all, and I feel that. Holy crap. Supposedly I'm the mean one.
Is Natter still with the group?
Yeah, Nanners is hanging out right outside the balcony with you guys.
After Zenori's done talking to his grandfather, I want to go over to him.
I'd like to imagine Natters is outside, like perched up on like a railing or something with a pigeon, and they're both like exchanging stories with each other.
War stories. The
I
pigeon
accept
Should have been there, man.
I accept the head canon, except it's a three-way conversation. There's also a raven watching you guys.
That's true. Yeah,
There's a raven watching us.
Yep.
Oh, listen to that.
always is.
Oh. Okay, so I'll float up to.
Oh, and then right
Zenori.
beside you guys, I'm sorry, I lied. There's 4 things sitting there, and then the other thing that's sitting there is Petal's air form.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want to be excluded. He wanted to join.
Cool.
I'll let Beryl go and join them. Like,
Now there's 5.
and I'll kind of like float up to Zenori and like arm around the shoulder, like pat him. Hey, would I be able to borrow Natters? I know I mentioned this before we left the last town, but I feel like this might be like now or never.
I'll look at him as if I'm going to say no, and I'll say yes, of course.
It's like,
Of course.
I'm like the room
excitedly
before you get
hugging.
into the big boss.
There's
Or,
health
like, picking up
potions
all
laying
the-
around,
Yeah, like,
ammunition.
picking up all the health potions. And
And then
yeah.
I'll float over to Aya.
Why are there so many things in here?
Okay.
Did we ever establish that Kazith was also, or suspected that he was trafficking children?
Oh yeah, that was like confirmed.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not necessarily directly. So you guys confirmed that General Gell was one of the main leaders in the ring, and then Kazith is potentially involved with them, but in what capacity is unknown.
So in light of that information, I have a suspicion, have a theory that Sorn, you may have been one of those.
I'm not a part of this. Children. You can't prove anything.
I think you might.
You can't make me.
Sorn is the big bad evil.
What? No, what? No. That sounds like
no.
But here's a thought. Like maybe you had origins too. You had.
I get the suspicion.
It don't make sense. Like they've got to be trafficking kids for more than just this, And
or trafficking.
I mean, we do have trafficked kids in the other campaign.
And it's at least trafficked kids. You don't know what else they deal with either.
I huddle close up to Soren. We were their merchandise. We broke free.
I think you're jumping a little bit, but I'm all for it. And I'm gonna like pat her on the back of the head.
Hey, what was that for?
We'll find him. Don't worry. And then I'll call for Aya.
Oh, sorry. Are we like in the hallway? Like, where are we?
Like a big
balcony.
room, right?
You guys, you guys are on a large, like, Beauty and the Beast type balcony.
Like outside?
Yeah.
Outside of the Beauty and the Beast library.
Oh. Logically.
Are there like planters and stuff? Like on the...
Yes.
Under the windows and stuff? Okay. I'm calling Aya over. Aya, can you help me really quick? I'm like over by one of the planters.
Fly over there, I guess.
I need...
Like, what's up?
I need the biggest, most beautiful flower ever. Please.
Do you have a specific, like, type of flower in mind? Or, like, would one of these do that I could, like...
Water lily. Say water lily.
Enlarge?
What Richelle said.
Water lily? Okay, so instead of, like, spawning it from nowhere, I'm gonna take one of the, like, existing ones, and I'm gonna transmute and enlarge that, because I've done that before. I figured that's, like, gonna be more successful than doing it out of thin air, which has been spotty in the past.
Oh, this is perfect, and I can't hug you, but I'm gonna, like pat on the head with one finger.
The size difference is comical.
Just a little bit, but hey, we both float, so we got that going for us.
Hey, you float too.
Yeah.
And now I'll go to Natters. Natters can understand me, right?
Yeah.
Or do I need
you
Vanya
can
to
speak to him
speak
through
for
the
me?
aether.
He's super smart.
Yep. He's a very smart
All right, I'm handing him this, and I'm telling him to fly to oh my gosh, Chinagawa, right? And drop it in the fountain at the university.
What was her name? It started with an N. She had a name.
What?
She
Oh,
had
Nolly.
a name. Oh, Nolly, thank you.
Started with an O.
Oh, whoa. You remembered that really quickly.
I thought you were, like, testing him. Like, if you
like, "You're
truly
lying to
loved
me."
her, tell me what her name is.
What was her name?
I loved her.
The unspoken Sorn Riz, baby.
You know what? Sorn does have Riz.
Surprisingly.
I just learned what that word means. I'm hip now.
That's...
And then I'm
For
gonna,
any of our
as
dear
delicately
viewers.
as I can, I'm gonna hug Natter.
Oh. Natters returns it and then just gives you a very knowing and accepting look. And then he does go over to you, Zunori, and just like perches on your shoulder and just like hugs you and nibbles on your cheek and
Daughters.
you're just like, good luck.
I just grab him off my shoulder and go.
Go give Nutters a kiss before he leaves. I love him so much. Nutters is my favorite.
He's a good
I
boy.
second this.
He is a good boy. The bestest boy.
Alright.
Oh, something just hit me in the back of the brain. Was it only the Prime Minister that knew about the people in the forest, or was it my grandfather also? Or do I not know that?
I'm going to say you don't know that, or if you do, you shouldn't, as your grandfather would not want association to be brought up. But I mean, yeah, you can. Why? What machinations are happening behind your eyeballs?
Interesting. I think I'll walk up to the Prime Minister. Because he knew, didn't he?
Yeah, he was there.
He does know. Yeah, I thought so.
He was aware, but
And I'll say, pull him aside really quietly and say, do you know much about these Guardians of the Forest?
I was going to be like, well, that depends on what knowledge you're seeking about them.
Does my grandfather know of them?
In some
Let's just
respects.
say I have an inn.
DM is confused on your phrasing. Or intention, rather. He's gonna
No
be
bad intention.
He's just gonna be like, what do you have in mind?
It was the PM that was in the diary about this sort of stuff, wasn't it? Well, who was the
No.
one?
It was not. It was your grandfather.
No.
Your grandfather was a
In the
student at
diary?
the Citadel. Mm-hmm. And he went to go visit his friend in the forest towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
2 + 2 = 4 now?
Okay.
And I am working on that diary. I got a huge chunk of it done last night, so I'll be posting more bits shortly, but my goal is over the weekend, hoping to have it completely done. I've reached the part I've transcribed up to, which is about like 60%, and then I gotta transcribe the rest of it and then edit it, because I figured out I didn't transcribe it all already.
Well, can I...
This is getting... Huh?
It's getting heavy, yeah. Can I actually retcon a little bit and say that, yeah, because I thought it was the PM that was in the diary, not my grandfather, and that's who I intended to speak to, the person who actually had, what do you call it? Dealings with, yeah, that'll do. See, I'm having that. I'm having that thing where you got the word. You got all the meaning of the word, but not the word out of your mouth word. But I'll just walk up to my grandfather and say, grandfather. And actually, I would really like to roll an insight on this, and ask basically the same question: What are your thoughts on the Guardians of the Forest?
All right. His first response is kind of as expected, and he's gonna be like, "The Guardians of the Forest are far older than you or I could ever comprehend. But they are good. Maybe not in the ways that certain authorities would like, but they are good. Why do you ask?"
I guess I can't say it any other way. And I'm gonna pull him right to the side, like right away from everyone, and say, I think you'll be happy to know that your step-granddaughter has become one.
He's
And
gonna...
your great-grandchildren will follow in her stead.
He's gonna take a minute to process that, and he's gonna put a heavy hand on your shoulder, and he's gonna be like, "Is this the last bit of big news that you're gonna give me today?" And he's like,
Well, now that you mention it, no, that's the last one.
No. Eventually he's gonna say, "It is wonderful to know that they will be taken care of, even if we may never be able to see them again. But if you do happen to witness their presence in any capacity, you will let me know, right?"
I'll, like, dart an eye over towards the crow. Sure.
The crow actually just caws back.
Thorn has been staring at this crow ever since finishing up with Natters. Absolutely staring it down, just waiting for it to move.
Alright, yeah, so...
Meanwhile, everybody's like kind of over here, and Moshi's like far away. He's like on the balcony, like looking out over everything. Just looking.
The view you see...
What?
You'd have to roll
What'd you
insight
say?
to Nori.
Oh, no, I was going to say, it's all forlorn, and then I was like, all furlorn. Terrible pun. Terrible pun.
It was amazing.
I love fun.
The sight you see off of this balcony is absolutely gorgeous. So you guys are on the map at this time. And essentially you're looking directly across pretty much the entire realm. You see the giant cracks in the realm. You see the distant river. You see, and at this point it's starting to fade, but you see the enormous lake in the middle of it. You know, that's side by side with a forest not as immense or intricate as the Eventide Forest, but pretty majestic in its own right. And then you see the silhouette outline of Astromeria in the far distance. Presumably, that is why the balcony was built in the direction it was, to make it portaling easier. After a spell,
Well, I didn't cast anything.
Can I see if the Grandmaster knows anything about amnesia or blood bonds before we go?
About what?
Amnesia or blood bonds?
Oh, amnesia or blood bonds?
Yeah, because apparently I have a past I don't remember. Thanks, Richelle.
Yeah, we do
Okay,
have a blood
same.
bond going.
Orenos is gonna be like, well, it's not. Excuse me. He's like, it's not surprising that someone of your stature, much like Sorn's, does not remember their soul's past.
Well, the reason I think it's amnesia, not like switching. They recognized me and called me little one, like they knew me in this form.
That's very possible too. Especially
But I
with
don't-
the forest ladies. Those ladies, and he's like, they're. Oh, they're
I
just
don't remember
out there.
meeting them, and they said that I would remember in time. But why would I not remember them, especially if I have been in this form?
It's like, it could be any number of things. It could be a triggered spell or a traumatic event you're not ready to face, or maybe you need to meet someone to get your memory back, or find something. Find the token from your lost memory.
Maybe.
Who else do we have to meet? We're
Okay.
inadvertently.
We've kind of gone across the whole realm. We've met a whole bunch of fucking people. It's like a lot of people.
Okay, I mean, technically, we've kind of gone beyond the realm before. So,
Yeah, but I don't like people that much. Like, how many more people until, like, I can be done peopling?
Said every introvert.
That's a great
ever.
question.
Like,
And he's gonna sit there and kind of reflect on that statement, and he's gonna be like, you know, maybe that is something you should ask yourself. Do you really want to know what it was or why you forgot it in the first place?
yes,
He's like,
because I like knowing things. Not because I actually care what happened.
and he's like, well, perhaps when all of this is said and done, you should actually speak with our fine Hemor over there, as he is one of the founders of the Halls of Memory. He might be able to help point you in the right direction.
Interesting. Okay. I will have to do that.
Plot twist, you were kidnapped by mushrooms.
oh no, not again!
You have to be safe! Don't trust strangers!
No, the mycelium's back.
We had a deal. We had a fucking deal.
Right before we're about to go through the portal, it comes up from the ground.
Yoinks Aya
Grabs
just
Vanya again.
Alright. After a spell, Hemor finishes the portal, and it actually gets pretty loud and changes to a deep gray, just a swirl of deep grays. And Hemor's like, you'll have to forgive me, I did not mean to take that long with it. It must be really bad on the other side. There was little to no magic over there.
Well,
Alright.
Moshi does not
That's,
move.
I float over and I'll like try to grab him by the scruff.
No, get away.
Don't you want to be a
Uranus.
world hero?
No.
Uranus
a
is
world
actually
hero?
going to not wait for any prompting or like any discussion on what's gonna go through. His expression is just gonna grow dark, and it seems like he started strutting without any form of limp or hindrance, just straight
Wait, who's
through to
this?
the portal.
Uranus.
The Grandmaster.
Oh, okay.
Master.
Can I keep Soren from picking me up?
You
I think you'd have to do a strength competition.
might either a strength to force your way out of it or a
No.
dexterity save.
So no,
I'll
it's
do
okay.
that.
It's okay. As soon as he resists, I'll give up and I'll
Oh,
start
okay.
floating towards the portal and I'll like look back at
Could
him.
have been fun.
I just pictured Moshi not resisting, but you know when you try to like reach down at a cat and it's just like whoop, whoop. Yep.
I'll float towards the portal and I'll look back, and
And I just shake my head. She just shakes
it'd be
his
nice
head.
to have you there.
Well, what?
And I'm going through.
Be there, be square. I follow.
I scruff him on the head.
What?
Come on!
But what happens after?
That's the magic. And I just pass back through the portal.
Oh, Lord.
Backwards?
Yeah.
Am I the only one standing there now?
No, the Prime Minister and Hamor are waiting for everyone to go through, and the Prime Minister is just counting heads as they're going through.
And Ayo,
Okay.
right?
Are they coming with? Who's coming with?
Yes,
Who
they
else
are
going?
coming with. It is, yeah, pretty much everyone there.
Okay. Moshi's gonna look over at the PM and Himor and go, is this really as bad as I think it is?
And the Prime Minister is just gonna nod. He's like, but
Will we survive?
that's the hope.
What are our chances?
I think for this chapter, higher than it feels like.
Okay. Moshi still stands there though. He's like looking at the portal, like contemplating.
Can Vanya just like rush through, grab them?
You
and just,
already
like,
went through. I thought.
I don't think there's any way to get back.
I don't think you can come back.
So I'm hoping. I was like, just like dash right through. I was like, fucking come back.
The portal is 2 ways, you find out.
Ah, portal is 2 ways. Okay. Can I stick my head through it, not my body?
You can certainly try.
Damn it, I'm not doing that.
Judging by how other people went through, the moment a piece of you comes in contact or anything that is attached to you, it starts getting sucked through.
Okay.
Damn it! I was hoping that like I could just like reach through. Just my arm reaches right,
But you can
that
come
comes out of the
back.
portal. And, like.
She's saying you can come back. You just
Have
can't
I
halfway
gone
come
through
back.
yet?
Hamor
No,
is
right?
gonna say to you though, Moshi. Hold on. Let me word this. Words. We were talking about words and saying words. He's gonna very thoughtfully say, you know, we may not quite understand fully what's going on, but one thing we do know is we are always stronger when we have our friends beside us and our loved ones beside us. The bonds between two people are what give us our strength. And even if we're afraid, we know they're stronger with us there. Thank you.
That's a great speech, Timor. Did you practice that?
Yeah, come on now.
Aya, did you go through yet?
Yeah, hasn't yet.
Oh, so you're still floating there.
I
I'll
owe you
just-
sweet rolls if you go through the teleporter.
You don't have
As
to
many as
bribe-
you want.
The bribery. It's
You
been
don't.
good.
You don't have to bribe me. Yeah, I appreciate the gesture, albeit underhanded. I just am concerned about what I'm going to do after this. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
I understand the feeling. I don't have a home to go back to when we're done.
Well, I guess I have nothing else to do but just go through this very strange looking gray blob that looks so welcoming.
And the Prime Minister does kind of say to you, like, just kind of offhandedly, like, well, if you guys do get bored, you can always come find me. I'll always have stuff you guys can do for a fee, of course.
Be a magical assassin for the Prime Minister. I'm on board with this.
Okay, I'm going through the portal. Well, she goes through the portal.
And Hubor and the Prime Minister follow. At some point, during that conversation with you guys, Petal tries to go through, but the Prime Minister does not pedal.
Huh? Pedal stopped? Oh no.
No pedal for you.
That's not fair. I was waiting on the other side.
Life isn't fair.
Did Vanya get to see like Pedal being stopped at all? Is Vanya just like waiting on the other side like, alright, Pedal, any time now. Any second.
When the Prime Minister steps through, he does eventually explain to you that Petal being a spiritual familiar, this would have been extremely dangerous. It's already dangerous for you guys. But upon stepping through, you guys are greeted with the familiar setting of the altar and kind of that courtyard area that was the entrance to the temple. Everything around you guys is completely devoid of color, of moisture, of magic, of life. Everything is gray and ashen. The Tartors, who were vigilant before, now stand as stone statues.
Whoa.
And the only thing that you guys can see that's different is the altar that covers the doorway. It has, it's a little table, raised platform of sorts, and there is just a pile of rocks kind of sitting in front of it, and the rocks are slowly moving around. You guys find Uranus at this point, like, not audibly sobbing, but he's struggling with what he's seeing, and he's just kneeling at the altar trying to help these rocks.
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 I'll
Yeah,
float up behind
eventually
him and
everyone does come
place a hand
through.
on his back.
And he's just gonna look up at you and nod. And he's like, I'm trying to help his avatar so we can talk to him, but we at least came in time. That's I think what counts.
Is he still present?
The world builder? Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm talking to old mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, yes. He's preserving what left he has, which is, but he can't talk either. So that's where I'm trying to help his avatar.
Would it help if we went deeper?
He's gonna sit there and think about it. Actually, roll insight for me real quick, sorry.
Teen.
He does, when you ask that, he does glance over at Hemor. And then back to you, and he's, yes, I believe it would.
glancing back, I'll see Moshi, and I'll float over to him and pat him on the head. Glad you could make it.
Yeah, well, somebody had to keep this party shit together.
You are the glue.
And Vanya hears that and looks at Zenori and I'm like, mm-hmm.
Zenori's picking his nose. No.
What a soldier.
Alright, so proceeding into the tunnel, or into the temple as a group, for some reason, most of you are familiar with this temple. Prime Minister even kicks a couple of old bones while you guys are walking by. But it doesn't take you guys very long to finally reach the antechamber on the inside. And the chamber itself is still that huge cave that you guys remember. But once again, there is no color. There is also only sources of light that you guys are providing, which Hemor is using dancing lights and stuff to help kind of light your guys' way. But eventually you guys reach that center platform and you see the avatar that you guys once knew also just standing like a statue. Uranus takes some of the rocks from the temple on top and kind of like sets it in the statue's hand. And just at this point pretty much just starts praying and trying to channel magic into the little avatar. And Hemor's going to be looking around and he's just going to be like, you don't even hear him breathing. Don't barely hear his heartbeat.
You can hear that.
And I float up and like spend a spell slot to help the Grandmaster.
You may.
Alright, so I'll go up and I'll place my hand over the rocks too and spend a spell slot. And so the eldritch energy from my hand kind of trickles down over everything.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana real quick, though.
24.
Oof. Oof. Gonna be the death of me. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so upon doing that, you knew from before, where you guys had given the world builder energy, kind of, you knew what to expect in giving him some of your magic. But what catches everyone by surprise is just how much this helped the world builder. Your eldritch energy kind of, just like fog drips over the pile of rocks in the hand, but you end up revitalizing the whole previous avatar. And you guys actually get a rumble in the cave itself and you start realizing that ambient sound has returned to the cave as the world builder itself is starting to breathe again. Uranus lets out a giant sigh of relief and does, let out a couple of sobs, and he's just gonna be like, my friend, and just very heartfelt. The world builder's avatar starts to form words. What you guys hear can also kind of be heard through that ambient noise throughout the cave. just that deep underlying bass tone to a voice is echoing. But the avatar is gonna look around and say, I had hopes of waking up to you all again. You did promise.
We're back, baby. Just kidding.
And be like, Peggy! And I'm gonna take the loose flower petals, not the full, and like confetti them. Yay!
Yeah.
Celebration! Woo!
Where the confetti falls on the ground, you see start to swirl and then like kind of merge together, and it makes a little flower area.
We, what can we do? What's doing this?
The Prime Minister's actually the world builders, gonna stumble on what this is, but the Prime Minister's gonna come up and kind of reiterate what this is the consequences of an atrocious and monstrous, monumental-sized event that happened very distantly in the past. And it upset the balance of the Aether. The Aether, is, in an attempt to rebalance itself, actually it started a void. It started a void in the middle of space, so to speak. But at this point, since it's an Aether void, all Aether is being sucked into it that it can get its hands on. So in order to remedy this, we either need to find a way to destroy the void, and the world ability is going to be like, we have tried and failed. Prime Minister's going to be like, yes. The other option is what I've been trying to work on. With some success, like a little bit, we were able to slow it down, at least a little bit, but we're trying to make a new source of Aether. Yeah, it's a lot like working with clay compared to what you do, Pegaverald. He's like, I remember when you were asking me about that. He's gonna be like, but all the world builders are so weak, we have to do it ourselves, and it's very elementary. But we're trying to make a world by the void.
Wait, what?
But they aren't all dead. Can I use my feather? The feather that I had. The Prime Minister knows about this. We talked to him about it.
But that's not for a world builder.
Yeah, that's a phenom, not a world builder.
I know, but the void was created because they were all gone, but she's not gone. So couldn't we, pull her back to, reverse it? If it went to the left because they left, if we pull her back, wouldn't it go back right?
So this is a thought that your character is having in-game, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You remember the feather being a source of communication as well, right?
Mm-hmm. So, can I communicate with her? See if there's a way to pull her back?
You may roll either an insight or a perception.
Would that work?
Alright, what you receive back upon inquiring with the feather is that innate fear of the people that you are currently in presence with. But she is very warmed by the thought that you think that she can fix this, but you get hit with immense grief as she says, "I am just one. We lost thousands that day."
Ooh.
What were they called again? Sorry.
Phenoms.
Oh, yes, right. Sorry.
Can I communicate the thought back that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step? Like, I know it's not going to fix everything. But, like, even if they wanted to stay in hiding...
She's gonna communicate back that she has already tried.
To come back?
Mm-hmm. She's already tried to help the world builder and the void. She cannot do it on her own.
Can I pull the Grandmaster aside? And, like, explain and see if he has a way that could,
You may not pull him aside. He will not move. But you will have to roll persuasion to get everyone to give you guys a minute.
Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, everyone is just kind of looking at you like, this is, like, what do you know, kind of just baffled a little bit. But Orenos refuses to move from the Avatar's presence. But the world builder, or the Prime Minister, kind of continues. The world we've been trying to make has promise. We were able to slow down the spread quite a bit, but we are definitely missing something. And it will take more time.
This new world will be filled with entities and beings that are not us, right? It's like a different dimension of sorts.
Much simpler, much like working with clay. We are not able to create ourselves, essentially. But we can definitely make dolls. And as long as they are able to love one another, protect one another, help one another, or in worst cases, hate, they will be able to generate enough aether to omit the void.
So essentially we're just making a substitute for this world, kind of like putting a block of iron next to a chain so that the iron rusts first, then the chain.
What?
Kind of like just a substitute so that the void takes from that world instead of ours. Is that basically what we're doing?
And with that, either the void will...
I just said that.
He's like, and with that, either the void will be stopped, or entirely, or at least it will be pacified, and maybe we get all of our aether back.
I mean, are you guys able to help other beings come back here?
What do you mean?
Well, I know the Prime Minister knows about the Phenoms. I'm like, they can't come back here on their own. We have the ability to create portals. You guys are creating worlds. Is there any way to pull them back here? With your help from this side.
How have we returned here and not had a plan?
I need you
Dungeons and Dragons, baby.
I actually need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Whoa.
We're all fucked.
Ooh.
Like I said, I'm not exactly a charismatic character.
So you get hit directly in the feels, so to speak, when the Prime Minister just essentially outbursts and says, "Do you not think that I haven't tried that yet? That I wasn't ready to give my own soul to bring back those that I've loved?" And then he's gonna just essentially go on a little rant, but he's gonna slow down, and Hemwar's gonna just be like calming him down. And the world builder is finally recuperated with what Soren has given him, and says, "John is on the right track to helping the situation."
Who?
John Osetius, the Prime
Prime
Minister.
Minister.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Who's that?
We've been calling it by its title this whole time.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
But he's gonna but it's gonna take too long. Some of my
What's the
work...
right track?
What?
You said that the PM's on the right track?
Yeah,
what was
for
PM saying?
solving the void.
For
They're
making
creating
the
the
world?
substitute world. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, and Moshi is like,
Yeah,
right.
it's okay. I'm just emotional too, because it's like the final chapter, and I'm trying really hard to keep it in, but also not braining, so it's a whole thing. But the world builder says, "We are fortunate that no other world builders have yet been taken by this. But if this takes, it'll take as long as it takes, but it may cost us our lives." And Aranos is gonna just hold his hand, and all of a sudden he's gonna stop, just startled, and he's gonna look over at you, Soren, and he's gonna be like, "You said your matron doesn't speak to you that much.
Not at all.
What has she said?"
The only time I ever think I've heard anything was when I came to consciousness. But I can't be sure.
Just tell us whether or not you're sure.
I think you said, "Make me proud."
The world builder is going to be like, "She did visit me a while ago, also trying to help. She said she had a plan.
Well,
and
she
you
could
are
let us
her
know."
child. She is not as you are anymore. She is different." Yes, different. That's the word we're going with.
Can we be a little bit more specific? I feel like this is very ominous. I'm like,
He's just gonna...
Pretty sure she designed Soren as a sacrifice to fix the situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Rock, paper, scissors, and it's rock, baby.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh fuck! It starting to make sense. Shit.
Uranus is gonna ask for your hand, Sorn.
Oh, with
And
Dab me up.
Uranus is gonna take one of your hands,
Oh,
and the
hand
world
it to him.
builder's gonna offer
Whoa.
his hand.
Whoa, what's happening? No, what's happening?
Thorn's soul is gonna go into the world builder, and they're gonna fuse to a new being.
No, Moshi's gonna run over and start trying to break it up. Hey, no touching. No.
I need
stop.
you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fine. Dexterity. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Come on. No. Wait, I have inspiration.
You may reroll.
Maybe I should save
You
it.
can only roll 2 higher.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
It is really good, but it wasn't enough.
No, okay, I'll keep my inspiration.
Okay.
You get away from him.
You are
He doesn't need to.
held
He's
back
not the
by.
solution.
You are held back by a magical force that
What?
erupted in between you. No, it's
Moshi
really
the
just
mime.
around you, Moshi. It's almost like an invisible hand that grabbed you.
Wait.
Moshi the mime.
Let go of me. No, let go of me. Let go of me. What's this? What's doing this? Who is doing this? I demand to know who's doing this. There are magical people here. Who? Let me go. Who is doing this? Let me go. Let me go. I'm not gonna shut up till somebody tells me. Who?
The Prime Minister's gonna put his
Who is
hand
this?
on your shoulder and say, "We're trying to find out if this
Find out
is-
what?
If this is what is supposed to happen."
What's no? It's not supposed to happen, and it's not going to happen. That's just the end of it. This is not supposed to happen. So no.
Back at the little
why try? Because no.
trifecta of elemental beings. Uranus is gonna look over at you and say, "Are you ready?"
No, he's not. No.
He's
No.
gonna be like,
No.
"Let's see what you're really made of." And
No,
you
we not.
feel you feel aether surging through you,
No.
not through your aether. Essentially what it's doing is it's combing between the shadow and your rocky structure. And you guys from a distance, you see Soren's aether shift from purple to orange as pieces of the meteorite start to fall off of his form, and you see before you a young, these days they call them tweens, but a young early teen boy.
What?
He's semi-transparent and just sparkling with orange with a modest set of wings behind his back.
What?
It's a phenom.
What? Wait, what? What? What's happening?
You have wings. The only thing I know that in this world that has wings that can, do things is phenom. Am I
Really?
right?
Uranus
I
is
could be
just gonna be like, fascinating. She must have found you out floating out in space.
Fascinating. What the frick? What is happening?
Uranus is gonna
I'm
be
wondering
like,
the same thing.
Uranus is gonna ask you if you want to take a minute.
Hey?
Okay.
Ooh.
I also need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Me. Okay.
Okay.
I'm good at those. It let me down, but
So
So much for good.
you
but damn.
are able to communicate to Uranus that you do want to take a minute with everyone before the next step of the spell.
No, that step. There's another
but-
step.
The essentially the veil got lifted you now remember much of what was before. It's still very fragmented. You definitely are not whole. You know, you are essentially, literally a ghost of what once was, but you remember your parents. You remember waiting in the crowd to see the queen fly by. You remember waking up in the morning as the sun rises, and it was just a part, just deep ingrained in the culture, that everyone sang to the morning sun together. So the voices of thousands of people would just resonate all throughout the city. And you start to remember the day that everything happened, and they didn't, no one wanted the fight to happen. No one of course no one wanted it to happen, but to some of your neighbors, you could tell they didn't know how to fight back. And you knew you just wanted to try and save your parents. So you gave it all you had. And then you remember blackness for quite some time. And then you remember seeing the stars just slowly fading into your line of sight. You remember more clearly the voice of your matron pulling you together and piecing you together with what she could find to try and make you whole. And she told you she had a special purpose for you.
She made him a rock spacesuit so he could breathe.
It still don't feel right. Just saying, don't feel right.
I'll float back to the group, I guess. I'm like a teenager, like
Yes.
older teenager, or younger teenager.
Younger.
Like medium length, like longer, light brown hair.
I guess it's ethereal. I'm all ghosty.
Yeah. And all. Am I still as tall as I was, or am I?
You're actually shorter.
Oh. I probably like come up to Zenori's shoulder.
And the other thing that happens is when you move too fast, it's almost like you're blowing smoke away.
I'll kind of look over at them, and especially Moshi. I'll like kind of wave the invisible hand away.
The invisible hand goes away.
And I'm gonna just as tightly hug him as a ghost can.
What are you? I don't know you anymore.
It's me. It's me.
But you don't look
Hello.
right.
It's me.
What's happening?
I don't know. But thank you for
What did I do?
letting me be your stand-in brother. No one can replace him. But
Okay.
I'm glad I could be here. And I'll pat him on the shoulder and like let him go.
Right in the feels.
I'm gonna have to go.
She
cry
just
after
stands
this.
there like, okay.
Aya next. I just had parents, right? I didn't have siblings or anything.
Yeah, no, your parents had you, and they wanted to give all of their love to you, so they stopped with one.
Aya and Ivania then. And I'll like kind of hold out my hand for Aya to come down.
I'm gonna
Oh no.
like float sit into his hands because I don't know if I can actually sit there.
I always wanted little sisters. So I'm glad I had the two of you. And I'm gonna like knock on Ivania's horn.
I am not gonna cry.
And
Ryan's
then
just holding on to the bow and like.
I'll let Aya go, and I'll float over to Zenori and a big brother. I looked up to you a lot. I don't know what's gonna happen, but they're not making me very comfortable with the situation. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So, and I'll punch him in the breastplate.
Actually, I just had a thought. Did I notice? Did you have the feather out blatantly, Aya?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna. He's not physical, is he? I can't touch him.
Correct.
Oh, that stings me a little bit. If ever I felt like I had a brother, it was definitely you, sir. And as my eyes wander, I realise that I is holding a feather of a phenom. And I'll say, Aya, you should give him that feather.
I'll
It's his
float over
people.
there and I'll... I mean, he can't hold things. How do I give him the feather?
I'll try to grab it.
I don't know.
I'll try to grab it, and I'll focus like all of my remaining magical energy, I guess, on trying to grab it.
Corporealness.
Trying to make my
So-
hands corporeal.
As you try to hand off the feather, Aya, you do get one last whisper from her. And she says, "Thank you. It is your love for each other that makes this possible." And the feather drops into Soren's hand and actually just rests on his hand and starts to shine and shimmer, and then it melts, and the glittery, glowy magic spreads all throughout his body. And you guys get a more corporeal version of him that you
What?
can actually now touch. Soren, you also get reminded that your name was once Irene.
Irene? Hold on. How do you spell that?
She put it in the
Put it
chat.
in the roll 20 chat.
She put it in there, and I'm like, what the frick? And then it was like,
I heard the notification. I didn't look.
Irene. Okay.
I'll say it out loud once, and then I was Irene. That's who I am.
now
I
you're
think
not.
I'm
You're
still
Soren.
I'm still Soren.
You're a big rock.
Sorine.
Sorry.
Irene. Lordy.
And is it group hug time? I think it's group hug time.
It is group hug time.
I'm like, as far as my little arms can reach out, I'm trying to pull everyone in.
You got wings to hug with too.
Yeah.
Get around there.
Before
Yeah, the
Evania
wings are
actually
still
gets the hug,
ethereal and smoky, but yeah.
Before Evania goes to hug, Evania slaps him first. You made me think you were gonna disappear. God damn it!
Don't hold your breath.
Glad you're here. Still glad you're here though. And then she goes in for a hug.
I'm just kind of squeezing everybody in, pulling everyone in tight. And I guess I'll have to turn around
Whoa.
and go back.
Moshi steps forward. Soren? Irene?
I guess I'm still taller than him, so I'll look down.
Yes, you are.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I am not. I'm not crying.
Deal with this, I'm switching to
Definitely
anger.
not.
I'm gonna spin around to the Grandmaster and be like, he dies? Murder is not off the table.
Hey, wait a second. We just talked about this. You're not disappearing. You're staying here. You're staying here.
I hope I am. And I'll float back to the PM and the Grandmaster.
Hemlar and roll me an insight. Actually, with an advantage.
Me?
Yes, you.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Insight with advantage. Alright, first one. 16. Second one. Okay, so 16.
So, you turn. They're not. Like in the circle with Arenas and the World Builder. They are just between you and the group. But you look at the Prime Minister, and you see in his eyes, the loss of the just grief and joy at seeing you. But you also see the same in Hemor. And you realized, as you're looking at the Prime Minister a little bit closer, you recognize him. You recognize both.
What's his real name?
It is.
What are
Jonas
their
Setius.
real names?
It is
Okay.
Jonas Setius. They are real people. They were there. They lived with you guys. And you remember looking up at Jonas Setios and being inspired.
I'll lock eyes with him and say, is this what it comes to? My chasing after you?
Wait, say that again?
My following in your footsteps, my admiration towards you.
And he's like, this is better than anyone could have hoped for you. Had it have been any other way. And Hemor's gonna. I remember you. Your parents. They were such good people. They helped the market in Town Square, if you don't recall. They helped keep everyone in line when the market got too crazy, just to make sure that you little kids never got smushed.
I can only hardly remember.
You are still just a fragment, but you're there.
I remember you too. Do I remember specifically what I remember him for?
You know what?
He
Let's see
just
how
looks
much.
familiar.
Roll me a history. Let's see how much.
History.
No.
11.
So it is fragmented, but you do recall him still having just that very lighthearted and passionate personality. But you remember him being so good with all of the kids on your block. And he would always run back and forth on official business, and if you guys were playing in the street, he'd often join you guys. And then just, I gotta go and run off. Gotta go do some adult work. And
I remember playing games with you as a kid. You were really nice to us.
He's like, we were all really nice to each other. It was a beautiful time. And he's gonna get a little bit choked up and just, let's see how this goes.
And I'll go and join hands with them again.
Okay. I need a DM break after this roll. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute wellness break. Like, but yes, DM does need a short break to figure out what to for. But yeah, so we'll be back in 5 minutes. So get hydrated, go to the bathroom, grab some snacks, whatever you need to do. We'll be right back. And we're back. And on break, first of all, y'all better have hydrated on the break. But during the break, Tish, the rolls that I made included a nat 1, and Tish used her inspiration to unnat the nat 1. Not by much, but it's not a nat anymore, at least. Which will actually make a big difference. Especially for that roll. But alright, so the Prime Minister and Hemor join the rest of the group and definitely try to, are offering comfort to anyone who wants it. But Soren rejoins with Uranus and the World Builder. And Uranus, looks at you, Soren, or Aranie, and he says, the world has always been a beautiful place. Especially when your people were at their prime. It still continues to be a beautiful place. And you and your people continue to make it so. And he's like, I should be thanking you for helping save the world as we know it. But all I want to do is thank you for saving my friend. And the world builder starts to kind of hum, and Uranus along with him. And eventually you catch on, and you also start to hum. And you realize the song that you guys are humming is the song that you and your people used to sing in the mornings. And it's just very peaceful, very beautiful. It's something that, even if you haven't had your morning coffee yet, would still bring peace to your soul. Eventually, your body starts to fade back into ethereal, and then starts to fade into dust, just a glitter dust. But what does fade in, the glitter dust that remains gets spread throughout the cavern. You guys are once again lifted on the platform, and just as a whole, just the whole platform. And you see not just color return to the cavern, but it starts exploding into foliage. And you guys hear animals that are birthed underneath. And the platform floats once again up to the top. So now you guys are out in the starlight in the sky, and everything around you just bursts with color and life. And the world builder actually starts shaking his shoulders and his neck and his head. And you realize you guys are on, kind of like on his hip. On the hip of a giant creature. And he lifts his head up and kind of curls it around, and maybe about 10 moshis high is the size of this head. And he plops it down a distance away from you guys. The avatar starts sprouting like jewels and gems. And sound, just wind, moisture, everything starts coming back. You guys even see the Tartors come back to life. When it seems to have settled down, the world builder, through his avatar, but his giant head, dragon-like head, kind of bobbles as he's talking a little bit. And he says, "It was a great loss for you guys, but I think that's what made it work. I can't thank you."
It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
He's like, "I don't know how to thank you, but I do know that somebody wants to say hi to you."
Okay.
And out of the earth, you guys get a dirt and earth avatar of Erine, who is able to shift himself into Sorn if he would like.
Dirt?
The one caveat, though, is your feet cannot leave the ground, and you are unable to speak verbally.
Oh, come on.
I can't float anymore.
Can this avatar eat and taste?
You can certainly try.
If Vanya pulls out a piece of jerky and shoves it roughly where the mouth is. I didn't get to give it to you just now, but it's not too late.
Sorn, roll an Arcana check.
Oh, damn it.
14.
Alright, you learned this trick before, and Vanya, as you're extending the jerkified beef to Sorn, very familiar dematerializing and aether sucking happens.
Just a thumbs up.
Vanya's kind of upset still. It's like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not important.
It is to me. It's the one chance that Sorn Nerine could have ever
He
tasted.
probably tasted better than us because it's all like aether and like shit. So, whatever.
He's gonna just hold out his arms for everyone to come back.
Another
hug.
Going. Yeah, first one. Going.
I'll rush in there for a hug. And as that happens too, I'm gonna punch as much aether as I can into his being.
Is there chunks of his meteorite around his spacesuit?
Roll investigation. Tsunori, you roll either Arcana or some other magic-based skill. Rocks look like rocks in your teary eyes.
I taught Moshi some magic too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wait, am I supposed to do something with that?
Mm-hmm.
You can roll an Arcana or another magic.
You could help Zenori.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing now. What are you doing?
I'm punching all my aether.
Well,
I want to give him magic.
Doing, but what? Why are you doing?
Oh, that's why I said and also a.
Why are
Could
you
I
doing?
perhaps attempt with the mycelium connection network thingy? Oh, but I have to do an hour ritual. I just sit there. All right.
Aren't you a ranger? You have nature magic.
I do. I'll just.
Yeah, you can just roll nature.
Not the same. I'll just
We got a Power Ranger punch. Sword.
Ranger. So I'm holding out my arms for a hug, and everyone's just gonna come and actually punch me.
Yeah, we're gonna be like those planet
That's what you get for
Earth
leaving.
Rangers. No, like the planet Earth Rangers. You know the ones that
okay.
are like
Oh,
wind,
yeah.
earth, fire, air.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. That was the one that I'm thinking of.
No, I don't mean literally punch. I just mean as I hug him,
Yeah.
I force, like,
Ivanya's
just
gonna punch
send
me though.
yeah, send
Moshi,
it
did
in.
you want to get in on the magic?
Yeah, why not? Everyone else is doing it. I don't know why, but whatever.
So he can talk again through the power of friendship.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
Because we're secretly a magical girl anime.
Yeah.
We're gonna give him his voice.
For the power of friendship.
Talk to us, Horn. I don't want hand size no more. I want to hear your voice.
That was. Somebody's got to roll.
Can I just... Yeah, Vanya, Moshi, did you guys want to contribute too or no?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, what do I roll? Sorry.
Either
Arcana.
Arcana or some other form of magic roll that you want to shoot him with.
I want to roll a very well, roll a specific spell because I think it's very fitting here. Damn it! It's a full. No wait, it's a cast, so it's not a chance cast. It's just like
Oh yeah.
force.
Do I
I'll still
just
take it.
hit, like, one of my spells, or, like, I don't get it?
You
The
can
spell
either
or,
roll
like,
Arcana
Arcana.
or some other magic-based roll.
Okay, I don't really...
I'm casting it.
Okay,
I'm
just do
casting
Arcana
healing
on the day.
Yeah, so that's a 4 out of 6, so that's still pretty high.
Oh boy, should have saved my inspiration. Oh,
Actually, you using the inspiration is the reason he has an avatar.
Oh my god.
damn, okay.
I guess it's
Sorry.
something you used to.
Whoa.
Oof.
Okay, I'll take the 2. I'll take it.
We could just go with it. It was canon.
with the nat 1. Moshi's just like so sad right now. So
Your
good.
love is so strong for him that he has an avatar.
It's okay because we
And I
also had
think
a nat
that's
20.
beautiful. That's
We
true.
do. We
They
have.
leave it out.
Soren / Arine, what form would you like?
No, it-
Friendship worked.
I want to be Soren, but I want to be like teenager Soren.
So, some rocks come up through the ground that you guys recognize to be a very familiar meteorite.
Well, no, I want to be like Arane, but like grown up, basically. So Soren,
Oh,
but
okay.
Arane's like adult form, I guess.
All right. So
What he
with
would've
the
looked
power
like.
of friendship, Soren's avatar starts glowing, essentially ripping at the seams with Aether, and it explodes out, and everything's glittery and sparkly and beautiful. And you guys see an adult version of Arine. He no longer has the wings, but rather he has a cloak of shadow. And that just kind of drifts off his back and, kind of edges the ground. And the Prime Minister nods approvingly at this as he has something pretty similar.
It's exactly the same thing.
Batman.
He copied my drip.
And you hear a very familiar, gravelly voice. Go ahead.
Thank you, all of you. And I'm just rushing them. I'm rushing them, and I'm picking. Can I make a strength check to pick up literally all of them at the same time with a big
Oh,
bear
gosh.
hug?
I think that's only an issue for like 2 of us. I
Well,
weigh
oh,
less
wait,
than
you know
a
what?
pound.
It is there are actually. Yeah. 2 of them don't really count.
So roll with advantage.
You weigh nothing.
I don't weigh that much.
I'll take a 14.
It doesn't take much.
I pick all of them up. And can I hover again?
You still cannot, unfortunately.
Dang it! It's okay.
The world builder does chime in, and he says, "I rejoice for you, but I hope you do not mind. We have work to do."
We?
We.
Okay. What work?
Now he's employed. Jeez.
And he's like, "We will return in a couple of years, but we should go
What?
see my brethren. And when we return, I will probably stay here for another nap, and you guys can come visit him whenever you'd like."
What do you mean return?
And
Where are you going?
He's like, "To go see my brethren and make sure they
The
are okay."
road builders.
Where?
Is Soren like a god now? Is this what's going on? Can
He's
I
now
pray?
part road builder.
Yeah, can I technically just pray to Soren? Can I
No.
have an altar somewhere and give
Look, after
offerings
going
to
through this
Soren?
whole
I already
journey,
have
I would
already
not
have my
pray
own
to
paladins.
I'm not.
That's what I was
converting.
gonna use
Paladin
the
multi-class.
old rock pieces for. I was
The
gonna build
paladin
this
of the-
little...
What is it? The
Sword
Path of the Night
statuettes.
Rock.
a little
Path of the Night
a little
Rock.
sword figure.
Yes, I have a jeweler's kit. I was gonna make us
Oh.
little sword figurines, and then I was gonna use the little pieces to make us like little sword earrings or necklaces.
Damn, I really
Could have a...
I really fucked up everything
Sword
by not
cult.
being dead.
Cult now.
No, the issue is I couldn't find your old rock bits.
Were they used? Or were they still existing?
Yeah,
These old
they got
They
meteorites?
pulled up
still
into me
exist,
again.
but I was crying too much.
Mm.
And the world builder shakes off, like, you actually see one of his wings, and it's larger than the mountain range that you guys are on. And he says that we must go now to make sure that they are okay.
When are you coming back?
A few
couple
years.
years.
Time.
What's few
not-
years? Oh, it's like trying to. You gotta.
Well, shit.
How
It's
many is a few years? Because you guys are freaking old. No offense. So I need to know, or if I'm gonna be like dead before you guys come back. So
Sorn, in your hand materializes a couple of rings. And these rings have, like a little piece of your meteorite in it.
oh, cool.
And the world
Alright.
builder says, when these glow, you will know we are back.
But that doesn't answer my question. Okay, I guess that
Okay.
does imply I will be alive. So I'll take it, I guess.
I whisper to Soren. Hey, Soren, can you make like a sending stone? Just
What?
one. A sending stone. A sending stone. Come on. Just one.
I'm a warlock.
Oh.
Make a sending stone. Oh,
I'm
you
not a
can do it.
wizard.
You're a god now.
No, I'm not.
Let's make a sending stone.
Seconds
We can-
ago, I was barely alive.
Yeah, but now you're almighty. You know,
I
you.
don't think I am.
We could sneak messages to each other. That'll be, we're truly apart. That'll be cool.
I will do everything I can to have my matron send you signs if I can get in contact with her. It sounds like I'll be gone for a little bit, but I hope I see you all again.
Wait, can I use my divination to ask a question?
You may.
Can I ask if there's a way to establish a mind link?
We're gonna be playing telephone.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
Listen, I already did it with Ivania. You think I won't do it with you because you're wrong.
Just because you're a god does not mean.
The answer
You think you're
is...
above me bonding with you? Get over yourself.
The answer is focus is needed for the mission. So less distractions until his return is best.
Optimal.
There we go.
I got this. I've learned things that I shouldn't have been able to learn.
That's true.
One day I'm gonna pop into your mind and you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna hear specifically Aya's voice in my head, like, oh shit.
And the message is gonna be, I did it, bitch.
Oh, and I'll be so happy.
The world builder's massive head lifts and just looks down at your avatar and says, "Are you ready now?"
I guess I have to be. I'll
Does he keep all of his
hopefully
stuff?
see you all soon.
Does Soren Aranade keep all of his stuff?
Anything he had on him disintegrated.
Oh, that gold!
Okay,
Come on!
One sec. How many do I have, though? Okay, one sec. I have an idea. Where the fuck is this thing? Okay, here it is. Open up, you stupid... Okay, I have 2 vials of blood. Can I give them to Soren?
You will not be able to.
Motherfucker. Okay.
He can't carry any belongings in the state that he's going to be in. And the world builder's hands are very big.
I'm gonna test something real quick. Can I materialize my greatsword? I'm gonna like shunt it into existence and see if it's there.
You feel it, but it does not appear.
You want to know what happened to Bert?
Yeah, what happened to
Oh wait.
Bert?
Oh wait. Do I don't have Bert yet. I don't have Bert yet. No.
We're gonna have to go and rescue Bert on our
what happened to
own.
Bert.
This is the next mission. Rescue
What a
Bert.
terrible loose end.
Mm-mm.
How's loose end?
After a short bit, the world builder will just kind of do a long, slow blink, and you see Soren's avatar dematerialize.
No.
He says, "I will take care of him." And it takes... I need everyone to roll me dexterity checks real quick.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Dexterity or dexterity save?
Dexterity
I'm
save.
assuming not me.
Not you.
Man, why do I get such stupid rolls? God, come on.
Alright. Zunori and Ivania, you guys are knocked prone for a little bit as the world builder heaves its mass around and takes off from the realm and just goes straight into space. Most of it you guys couldn't even see even while it was flying off. And then it went through the atmosphere shielding and it was gone from there. The Prime Minister and Arenos are standing side by side, and they wait till the world builder's out of sight. And Arenos just kind of looks up at the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister looks back down at him. Arenos says, "I think we know what you need to do now." And he's like, "But I think we can now." And the Prime Minister will just nod at him more, and he'll look over at every one of you guys and just very soundless gratitude. And he just says, "If ever you guys need anything, you know where to find me. And he'll get his own portal out. Just right there, just remedy.
Who, the Grandmaster?
This is Arenas?
No, this was the Prime Minister.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And Reynos will just be like, bless his path. And then Hemor and Jognirn will come up. Jognirn will actually, give Arenos a hug, and you a hug, Zunori. And he'll graciously thank each and every one of you and says, I will send you all some gifts when I get back, but I must tend to the Prime Minister's idea. If this can work, we may have solved this a lot sooner. And he takes off through the portal too. Hemor and Arenos at this point is still just like watching where the world builder left. And it's not sad at all. But Hemor goes to you, Aya. And he says, I was just gonna pass on a message. But somebody wants to give you a hug. And from some of the nearby bushes and shrubs, comes Amina and her child.
Comes who? Sorry, comes who?
The Phenoms.
Oh. What?
They're back?
And she says, we were never... The queen stutters quite a bit. But Hemor says, we were sole survivors. And that was the price she had to pay, was not being able to let Jonasetios know that she's alive. He is too close to the people responsible. It would only put all of them in danger. And she says, I never thought I'd see any more of our kind again. Any more of my people. And you guys made that happen. And she just grabs you, Aya, and she just, brings you in so close. And the feeling that you akin it to is you are being hugged with the softest, fuzziest blankets. Like, if you ever felt a chinchilla, that's what that feels like. Mixed with hot cocoa and spiced marshmallows and
I love that.
Cozy fireplace fire going in the middle of winter.
Like all of the best feelings. She's going back to the Citadel, right?
No. Yeah,
no?
She's like, we have to go back into hiding. There's no way we can stay here for long before being discovered. And Arena says, yeah, we've come too close before. And he just kind of shudders. And he's like, if the High King were to hear that they were here, they would re-destroy the realm to find them.
Well, we need a better way to stay in contact, for starters.
And she smiles and hands you a little bit smaller of a feather. Just plucks it right from her wings and gives it to you. And she's like, this is a great way.
Perfect.
And she says, but... And she kind of looks at Hemmer and Renos, and they both nod. And she sets her hand on each and every one of you, just in turn. And you guys all get that, hot cocoa, fireplace, middle of winter, cozying up with a good book, or whatever makes you feel that kind of feeling. For you, Tsunori, you get the overwhelming...
Oh, come on. Explain it. Explain it for everybody.
You get the overwhelming feeling of being back with your family and everyone being safe and your kids having kids and just being able to see your wife and spend time with everyone.
Just the feeling?
Just the feeling. Ivania, you get the feeling of fulfillment in your quest to find answers and retribution to those that do this crap to kids, but also being back with your parents, not your real parents, but the ones that raised you. And them essentially buying you your own personal little forest or whatever. Embracing the wild side of you, essentially.
Wow.
Moshi, she comes to you and you remember the best parts of Paka. You also remember the best parts of Soren and a whole basket of sweet buns. And then while she has her hand on your heart, she also reaches out from behind her and produces Beryl and says, "This one, I think, could use some company." And he says, "The other one is still out there somewhere."
A quest.
But at least he doesn't have to be alone anymore.
Yay.
Maybe you don't either.
Hi, Beryl. Can Beryl go on my shoulder or something? Is she excited? I don't know. I don't have
You do see relief on Beryl, but I will let Ryan narrate for Beryl.
Oh, okay. I was like, how?
Ryan?
So she'll be a little like sheepish. You can tell she kind of feels bad for being so mean to you before.
Oh.
And she'll slowly waddle over onto your hands and just take a seat down and look up at you and pat your hand.
Aw. We're gonna be best friends. Well, maybe.
And she nods like very matter-of-factly, like 2 times, really like hard.
Agreed.
Are you in love? I'm in love. Are you in love? Agreed.
I'm gonna put. Okay, Beryl, you're gonna go on my shoulder because we're gonna see and do everything together. All right? I'm gonna put you right here.
And she's gonna just sit on your shoulder and look out at the world.
Can I make
Give
Beryl
a little lookout.
a little like flower chair with a flower umbrella that like sits on Moshi's shoulder? That way they have like a little flower seat with like shade, so because they're a shadow being.
Oh my god. I don't know, Beryl. What do you think?
She's already chilling, but she's like nodding, very like
Okay.
very agreeable.
Apparently, bring it on.
So I'll take a couple of flowers and I'll make kind of like almost like a papasan chair looking thing with like an attached umbrella out of a different flower. Papasan chairs are so good.
They're like nests.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry.
You can't tell me a flower bloom is not the perfect papasan chair shape.
You're not wrong.
Alright. Nice. Alright, we're ready.
Alright,
Take on the world.
after Yumo, she does the same for Urenos, and they actually embrace with a hug. Zunori, roll me an insight. He actually. So, should I get that to that in a little bit? After embracing Urenos and Hemor, Aminina, and you guys saw Hemor like the whole time this was going down, just playing with the child. But the child stayed away from you guys, just in general, super shy. And eventually they also take off in the opposite direction of the world builder, but pretty much same manner. They just fly straight up through space until you guys can't see him anymore. And Hemor kind of nods to everyone, and he says, "I'm only a message away if ever any of you guys need anything."
Oh, I'm going with y'all back to the Citadel.
And Hemor's like, "I will not be. I have to return to Ardile to resume my duties." And he just gives a very deep bow and returns through his own portal. And Urenos appears a little bit younger. And he just claps his hands, and he's like, "Right, Citadel. You wanted to do more on the hemomancy, right?"
Yes. But also, you're going to help me with the rest of the magic I already know, and my ability to speak to people. And then, this way I can teleport so he can help me figure out my past, and I can go to the Prime Minister so they can learn other skills because I have murders to plan.
Alright. So yeah, Urenos
Wait.
opens up a portal.
Wait. Before you go. Moshi's gonna ask Urenos. Hey, Urenos, before you go. This Kazuth guy, you have information on him, right?
I can provide you with everything I have.
You can help me maybe find him?
And he's like, "With pleasure."
DLC coming up. I'm gonna find this idiot.
DLC.
Listen, that is one of the 2 murders I have on my docket.
Alright, well, Beryl and I will be joining you, and we will...
Hell yeah, murder squad.
For our rescue Bert mission.
Fuck yes.
Yeah!
I am on board with this.
Guess who can still see through Beryl's eyes?
Oh,
What?
This guy.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Yay!
Zenori's gonna take in the moment for a second, and then he's gonna realize everything that's transpired, especially given his family and his son especially. And then he'll remember who was involved with it and realize that Ivania has the same stakes involved. And he's gonna walk up to Ivania, give him a push. Like just a little push.
what was that for?
Say, me and you have a mission. We're gonna find ourselves some child nappers.
You got that right. I was gonna go. I wasn't sure if you're gonna go, but hey, I was gonna go anyway.
Let's just say old school Zenori hasn't yet laid to rest.
And you all
Skullcracker
also,
Zunori.
like in the peripheral of your subconscious, get the feeling that you guys all have a few extra years to do it with. And Arenos takes you guys through the portal. And then the portal closes. And the end appears on the screen.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm not gonna cry. Not
Rolling
gonna
credits.
cry.
I'm rolling credits.
We saved the world, guys!
Yeah.
We done did it. We
It
done did it.
sounds like we have some side quests that could be played out.
That we do.
DLC.
DLC.
I'm so ready. Moshi is ready.
I'm gonna have like an old school movie training montage at the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Listen, I'm gonna learn how to do Blood Whip, and I'm gonna learn how to make the teleporters through the trees. I did not touch all of those trees for nothing.
Two rogues going out together. Oh man.
Oh
This is a bad
my.
idea.
It's not a bad idea, but it's gonna be awesome.
The ranger and the cleric going trafficker hunting.
Yeah, we about to bust some bad guy. And we ain't stopping until they did.
Cue Starsky and Hutch theme music.
Oh my gosh. We
All
did
right,
it,
so-
guys.
Awesome. That was
I
awesome.
have, I have a question. Do
Yeah.
you guys want to stay on
Yes.
for like... I was going to do like the end campaign recap and just talking about the whole campaign on a different session, but you guys just want to do that tonight?
I'm down. Do we want to give it like a bunch of time? Because
Does-
I am gonna have to drive up to Alexandria this weekend or like tonight. So if we want to give it a long time, I feel like we do it another week, maybe next week. But if it's gonna be like 30 minutes,
I think because we need to like ask questions that we're allowed to know, and we should think about those questions.
yeah, we
first.
should think.
Yes.
We
so
should think.
my recommendation is review your logs and your notes, talk to each other in the chat, take notes on stuff that you guys want to know, but also stuff that you guys fondly remember, some of your favorite moments. Like, just make notes of that, so that way, because I'll definitely be asking those kinds of questions. But also be thinking about what your character does next. Not just in terms of side quests, but like continuing your character's story from here. What do you envision for your character? Also talk about your character's own growth arcs through the campaign. So we'll reconvene same time next week and have our conveniently session 42
Of course it is.
be our closure session. Just chit chat.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cry now, guys. Okay.
Thank you so much, Richelle,
Yeah.
for the
thank you.
campaign.
Yeah,
This was crazy awesome.
Thanks everybody for making
Thank
it so
you.
cool.
was wild. Dude.
This is the best experience I could have had for my first D&D campaign ever.
Me too.
Hey.
This is the
hey.
longest D&D campaign I've been doing so far, and it's been hella worth
Oh yeah.
Longest for me too.
You guys make such an interesting recipe. Let's just put it that way.
I had a lot of
but-
fun with like the different dynamics and like
Yeah,
different
dude.
like classes and stuff. That was fun.
it.
Yeah,
We
it was
fuck
it.
around, yeah.
It's
around a lot.
definitely like complex in a way, but once you get the hang of it, it's like, oh, okay. But then the other thing to keep in mind with your notes is also do not forget that what you guys covered was canon events. Like when I say canon, that is, you know, like these events are going to be in recorded history for the novels, multiple, that I'm writing, and don't forget that your characters are each going to get their own little novellas.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So if you, in case I didn't tell you before, each of your characters are getting their own little novellas of their life. Okay. And
Novella, right? Like novel,
like a little,
like a littler book. Yeah, so not quite like a full-sized book, but they're definitely something littler. And so that's where, you know, like pondering and elaborating, you know, like questions you have on your character's past and stuff like that. Write those stuff down. Either way, I will be in contact with you guys, you know, not only for evidently future campaigns and side quests, but also, and a lot of the side quests too, I bet can just be like onesie twosies too, to where it's like, oh yeah, let's do like a one shot this month, or have like a 4-sessioner. But then also, I'm just gonna state this outright, just for the record, the path your guys' characters took. For one, it was not easy for me. I tried to dissuade you guys from following down this path because I had to know from the get-go that you guys were gonna kill Soren. Okay. That is not easy information to live with. This, for 2 years, every time the campaign would end, and I'd just be like, and then he's gonna die. Oh my god. But, the path that you guys went down, the gift that Omnina gave you was longevity. So your characters might actually also appear directly in the novels. If they live that long, we'll see, but...
What?
So like it extended our lives, is what you're saying.
Almost indefinitely.
Oh, was that phenom that like?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The queen. Yes.
Cool.
Yep, your characters don't know it yet, but when they don't really age much, it'll be weird.
I'll start noticing. Like, oh. Well.
Yeah. Like, I should be on all fours, not able to get up on a cane anymore. Like, napping 23 hours a day, like... But alright, so we will convene same time next week. You guys as players have quite a bit of homework for the next session. And yeah, I will touch base with everyone's schedules for campaign 2 resuming on Monday. But with that being said, it's been an absolute pleasure to be your guys' DM. It's been an honor, as well as you guys have been helping me explore my own story universe and build it together and breathe life into it. And so I personally have to tell you guys thank you, just for the record. And yeah, side quests, new characters, whole 9 yards, whatever it is, let's fucking do it. So
all right.
Stay safe, stay nerdy, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.